think I've...
Getting things done?
Yeah, think I got everything? Okay, I'll be in touch.
Sure.
Yeah, by the end of this week, I'll have
If
it
I
done.
really need it done, you better get it done.
As soon as possible.
Right?
Yeah, we'll do. Okay. Thanks, boss.
Take care.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Oh, Roshan,
Yeah.
while I've got you, I was going to ask you something. So a lot of my clients are SMEs who've been kind of trying to scale. They've been trying to push on to the next level. The problem is they're already stable doing what they're doing.
Okay.
So how do they innovate to get the next level without changing too much that they lose that stability?
Okay. I look at SMEs. There's 5 levels of SMEs. There's the guys who are the startups, and they're always. It's all about ideation. It's all about how do we get prototype something, and it's a struggle. These guys it's really they're testing. Then they go to the next stage, which is survival. Hey, the model works, the product works. There's some sort of customer base that's we're starting to penetrate in. Now it's survival, it's getting cash flow, product expansion, and so on. Then you go to the next stage where it's wow, I've got some initial success, and finally you move to the next stage 4 and stage 5, where you really start to take off and scale. And so many SMEs get stuck in this stage 3, where there's initial success. Hey, we've grown it to 5 million, 10 million. I like the business, but hey, how do I grow it to like 100 million, $1 billion? And that's where the struggle is. And usually, to me, there are 4 key reasons why businesses get stuck in that stage, where they cannot scale up, where they cannot take off, where they cannot get to the next level of greatness. And usually it's something to do with usually some form of clarity, or what I call leadership. So leadership is this: as an owner, you have goals, and your business also has goals. And sometimes the goals, your goals and the business goals may conflict. And so the employees have no clarity. Like, where am I as a business today? Am I here, or am I here, am I here? And where do I want to go? Do I want to go here, here, or here? And when there's no clarity, the employees get confused. So that's leadership, right? Leadership is about establishing the vision, it's establishing the self-awareness of where we are today, and establishing the plan on where to get to. And that's many times in many SMEs, it's a struggle, because especially when there's different partners and there's different founders, you got all this misclarity. So that's leadership. So that's the first confusion, or why SMEs don't scale. The second thing is a business model. So sometimes you prototype something, it's successful, and you reach a level, wow, but it takes a lot of transactions to get to this level. And for you to scale to the next level, you have to multiply that transactions, and it's humanly impossible. So your business model allows you to grow to a certain level, but you need a new business model to scale to the next level. And to do that, you need to destroy the old model and reinvent the new model. And that's where the problem comes, because it's very hard to give up, destroy what you've built, and rebuild again. So the second part is business model. The third piece, and business model is really about how do you really have to scale it, you really have to have a differentiated business model. Now the third part is culture. Culture is very simple. It's about how there are certain mindsets in your business, and your employees have certain mindsets. How do you remove those mindsets so that you can go to the next level? So they may think, we are small, we can't compete. Why should we be proactive? Because the big guys will eat us up. So there are certain mindsets that are bogging your employees down. How do you remove them? And the only way to remove them is to change their experiences. So when you change their experiences, you change their beliefs, and when beliefs change, you start to see different actions. So that's culture. And the last part of why SMEs don't scale is because structurally, they're structured in a way that enables certain behavior. So when you structure you pay your employees commission based on sales, what happens is they end up only doing lots of sales but not collecting the money. And so what happens is you get high receivables. But if you pay commission based on collections, then they start to behave in a certain way. So structure or processes, culture, number 3, number 2 is business model, and number 3 is leadership. So to me, those are the 4 areas why SMEs struggle to scale up, and why SME leaders struggle to grow their organization into big global organizations. At least that's what our research tells us.
Okay, great. Thanks very much. A spontaneous question for Roshan. I didn't know he was going to be here, but always nice to catch up with him and find out a little bit more about scaling an SME. If you have any more questions, feel free to email us, leave a comment on Facebook, and we'll be sure to ask it Roshan when we get the chance. Cheers, guys.